because I kind of know in this song and the power and the glory, I kind of want that to be on the same slide. So what I'm going to do here, instead of editing them quickly here, I'm going to come over here to the actual song in the library, Command R, and I'm going to come down here. Something's thinking here. Okay. And then at the end of glory, I'm going to hold down Alt and hit Enter. And it looks like it's just doing the same thing over and over again. I don't really like to put yeah-yeahs. What I'm going to do here is, oops, I'm going to start a new one and just make a little tag of amen kind of thing at the end. All right, good. So I'm going to close that. Things are looking pretty good. All right, now let's come back here to where we were. Sorry. Okay, whoops. Give me a second here. Okay, so we've got and I kept amen on there because between glory and amen there was like no time, so I didn't want to switch the slides on that. One. So he was on the and of two. 1, 2, amen. There we go. Very cool. Okay, I don't usually put a clear slide at the end because I may want to, in the service, put a song after this, and I don't necessarily want to clear right then. Sometimes I like to have lyrics go straight into the next song or whatever. So the only clears that I have are right here and right here after the verse 1 and verse 2. So before we move those up, let's go ahead and move all of the slide cues. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is we're at 110. I have kind of a general rule of between 2.5 to 3 beats if you're over 100 and getting close to 120 beats per minute. So let's do this. What we don't want to do is lose a slide because we're jumping to the next slide. So let's do 1 beat, 2 beats, 2.5 beats. Let's start there and let's see if that seems good. So I felt like that was a little rushed. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 beats. Let's check out number 1. Here we go. All right, that felt good. Let's see how this next one goes. Okay, that's the difficulty, is that obviously as we were singing Lord, it was changing to the next slide. So, you kind of have to massage this sometimes. I'm going to undo moving them, and we'll just go ahead and do 2.5 because I feel like it's better. It's better to not cut off if possible, especially Lord. Like, you don't want to cut off Lord. Actually, what we may do is right in the middle. That seems to be working really good. If you didn't know what I just did, you saw how there was no line right here, but all of a sudden there appeared one. That's because I did Command 1. It adds it makes the grid a little bit tighter. So you can see here we're at 1/8 and now we're at 1/16. So every grid mark is now a 1/16 of a beat. There you go. All right, I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to come back up here to 1/2 here. We're going to take all of these, which are just 2 of them. I'm going to cut and I'm just going to paste at the same spot that I copied. Okay, I can go ahead and delete this now. And what I want to do, instead of having a bunch of random things sort of sitting together on this line as well, I want everything to end right on the same spot here. We can probably shorten this just a little bit, just make sure there's nothing going on. And what I'll do is I will have the end of every track end right here on 96, whether it is a video track, whether it's a click track, or an audio cue track. So I'm going to just click here on the very, very beginning, and then I'm going to shift, and I'm going to click here at the very end on the bottom track, and I'm going to hit Command J. And that's going to consolidate each track on its own. It's not going to make one track. It's going to make 4 separate ones. And it makes it look really nice. So what I'm going to do here on the top one, I'm going to rename that because I like to keep everything kind of organized. I just call it vid, how rich a treasure. I'm going to copy that. And then over here, I'm going to rename, which is Command R, and then Command V. And I like the colors to match up. Here we have the click track, and I always like to have in this clip here the BPM of the actual song. So I just leave that just the way that it is. I understand that 110 means that it's a click track, and then this is what is this? Oh yeah. This is, as you can see, you can rename also from here. Those are the cues. Okay, I'm going to also rename this cues and then demo. So cues and click, I like those to be white just because I'm OCD like that. And demo, I usually like it to be orange. Unfortunately, you can't change this and this at the same time. You can only do one at a time. Okay, great. So here we are. It's always nice to do a quick run through at the very end. You can totally do that. I'm not going to do that because I feel really confident with what I've done. Signing off. This is how you create a basic, well, it's not really basic, but this is how you create a song from a track, from just a demo track with cues, with a click, and then with your video cues. Thanks so much for watching.